Our verse of the day comes from the 10th chapter of the Gospel of Luke, and it's at the beginning of what is probably Jesus' perhaps best known parable, the parable of the Good Samaritan. And the context for that parable is a lawyer coming to test Jesus, which is always a mistake, because whenever a person tries to test Jesus, that person is the one who ends up being tested. And their heart, their mind, their soul ends up being laid bare for all to see. The lawyer asks Jesus, "What must I do to inherit eternal life?" And Jesus basically says, "You're a lawyer, you're supposed to study the scriptures, what do they say?" And he responds with what we know as the Great Commandment in Luke chapter 10 and verse 27. He answered, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself." You know, when I picked the verse of the day for the whole month of March, obviously I did it well before we had any idea that the COVID virus was going to have such an impact in our nation. And now the imperative for us to love God with all our heart, soul, strength, and mind, and to love our neighbors as ourselves is really crucially important. I want to encourage you in these challenging days when many people are fearful and worried. There's a great deal of uncertainty about the future and what may happen. It's crucial for us to reach out to our neighbors, especially our neighbors who may be alone, who are in the most vulnerable group, those who are over 60 years of age. And let's face it, we have a lot of neighbors over 60 here on the Cape. And so do walk next door and knock on a door. Pick up the phone and call people. If you're a part of a small group, I encourage you to keep meeting so you have a sense of connection and not total isolation in these challenging days. Loving our neighbor is what being a Christian is all about. I hope we all can practice that well today and tomorrow and in the days to come.